Welcome into episode 7 of Coffee and Chel, the video series where I go through the prior videos, questions, and comments and help you with your hut lineup decisions. On today's episode, the B&D Choice Pack from the Check My Game event is actually pretty sweet. We'll get into that. The salary cap mattering. I was super wrong, and my guess that the salary cap wouldn't matter for no money spent players until October, the late October at the earliest. Super wrong about that. And then week 2 leaks for the Check My Game event as EA accidentally released who was coming out in week 2. And want to let you guys know who, because I think it's not really fair for players because of the line combination stuff, because you can plan ahead now knowing. So first, let's get into the B&D Choice Pack. So the 30 collectible Check My Game event Choice Pack, where you can get an 84 overall that is account bound. Account bound, for anyone that doesn't know, means that you can't trade it into sets in the future and you can't sell it. So it is just only able to be usable in-game. However, they came out with the first two were Will Cooley and Jonathan Taves, 84 overall. The 84 overall Jonathan Taves has 95 faceoffs. Now, last year, it was not a choice pack, so you'd have to risk the biscuit and, get a 50-50 shot at getting the card you wanted. It appears that this is actually a choice pack. So you can do that for 30 collectibles and get 95 overall face-off Jonathan Taves on your team if you wanted to. So I wanted to make sure that everyone knew about that. I don't know if I would. It depends on the situation of your team build and whatnot. 95 face-off is incredible. It's the best in the game right now. So definitely something to consider. Taves doesn't really fit into it. He does fit into some lineup combinations and things like that. So just something to keep in mind. I would probably rather go for an MSP. So if you're trading in 30 collectibles, it means you're sacrificing an 82 overall that can be untradeable and used for a master set item. I'd still probably rather go with that, especially with what's coming in week 2. Let's get into the week 2 leaks. So it was, it was shown in the blog, and I don't like talking about leaks usually because a lot of people don't like their surprise ruined and stuff like that. But again, with the amount of the player base building their teams based on the line combos, there is a very specific one in week 2 that is going to be S tier no matter what, and it might save you a lot of coins because you know it's coming. So I decided to let you guys know. So week 2, via the blog on EA that's now taken down, it's Matthews, Pasternak, Erik Karlsson, Sergachev, and Ullmark as your week 2 MSPs. Now, obviously Matthews is obviously great, but Pasternak is the big one because you can put him as a check player. You can put him with Joe Sakic and Marcus Naslund, so it's all players you can make. It's not cards that you need to just pull. No money spent players can work towards those, and they're not going away. Naslund and Sakic are in for the entire season. You can make them for 70 days, so you can slow play making them. Or if you want to buy them, you can buy them. But then Pasta comes out, and Pasternak is going to give those everyone a +2 overall. So it used to be, or it was, with like Natchez or Pavanka, there were specific cards you could get the +2 bonus with, and they were extremely expensive. Pasta's going to change a lot of that because you can just go get them. So that would be pretty big. You've also got Matthews, one of the most popular players. Erik Karlsson's interesting. So Sergachev was really good as his base card. I had his 83 overall base card. Then Ullmark is a goalie. So, but the Pasta one is the big one. So just wanted to let you guys know about that for if you were planning on making the week 1. For any event that has a 14-day timer from the week 1 master set player items, guys, hold off until you see week 2. Obviously, we saw week 2 very early. If there's no harm in waiting to see what comes out in week 2, because you can really only make one master set player item for free completely via the stuff they give you by playing the game. So you want to make sure you get that right for your team specifically, because I think now more than ever, it's very important that not only do you pick the best card, but you pick the best card for your team because of the AP, the salary cap, and the overall boost. So something to keep in mind there. The salary cap mattering. Let's talk about that. So if you have been watching my subathon, or if you've come in, obviously I've been playing for 7 days now, essentially 6 days now. Excessive amount. Haven't spent any money, but I've been grinding. I've been grinding Cup Chase to get all of the Cup Chase stuff done. Basically 70 days worth in a week. I want it done and out of the way. But I was pretty certain that no money spent players wouldn't have to worry about the cap, just because it's hard to get those players. There's no chase cards, things like that. I'm at a point now where I'm very close to the cap, and I'm gonna have to start making decisions. So it's interesting. The salary cap has saved no money spent players, like and standard edition players, because people that spend thousands of dollars in the game, they're gonna have an unbelievable team. But at least there's a rubber band on it because it would have gotten out of control. Um, so I'm actually starting to like the salary cap a little bit more. Now, this morning, I'll have a video coming out a little bit later today on my third No Money Spent video. It's going to be a team update one because I played so much and I just haven't been able to put it all together. So I'm just going to do a team update showing you guys exactly where I'm at. Today, I held off spending either trading stuff in or selling my cards up until today. And then I got to the point where looking at my team, I was just annoyed that it wasn't better because I'd played so much. So I started trading things in. I got some icons. I got some new players. I sold everything in my collection, got a ton of coins, and then I started to make my lines and whatnot. And my team is pretty, like, I'm super happy with my team. There's a lot of budget cards that work well with line combos. The issue is once I show people, I mean, I did it on stream. I just was spitballing some ideas and I went to go buy the cards and they shot up 10,000 in price. So I can't really do that. And I'm not really going to highlight the best buys because they're going to be stupid expensive once I show you. But that being said, there are a lot of fun combinations that you can make. And I spent 2 hours just thinking and like working on my team. And I'm loving that. Like it really makes you think. Now, in 2 months, maybe not. Like I fully agree, or I'm aware that the salary cap and all of the hard locking that you get, whether it's ability points, things like that, it's gonna get annoying, I think, at some point. But it has never been more fun to build a team in Hut. Like honestly, it was a blast, and I'm really excited to try out my team now. And yeah, it's where I'm at. So with that being said, let's get into yesterday's questions and comments and go over the ones that I highlighted first up based on likes. Again, like the comments that you see that you want addressed, and that way I'll start with that, okay? So, First Nation says, man, the dev team really needs to add an open all mechanic when opening packs. Wildcard pack openings are not fun. Great vids, man. This one I can't understand. I said this last year to them. It has to be like a tech thing. There is no reason why those collectibles don't just go to the inbox. I'm thinking it's because they can't just... No, that doesn't even make sense because they give out cards like Macklin in the XP path. So it's not even like they can't give out cards specifically in an XP path. So I have no idea. 100%. The wild card one is brutal because it's like 10 packs and it's just one collectible at a time. Absolutely hate that. They need to fix that. They've done a lot of good removing menus and screens. The menus are very slow still, but they've removed a lot of the extra clicks you got to make. So things are faster in the sense of less time to get into stuff, but they're still laggy and things like that. So get rid of that. I don't know what they need to do from a tech standpoint, but 100% they need to fix that. With total agreement. Bound Glory says, EA dev team, please God, send all collectibles to our inbox, no more packs. So yesterday, apparently... someone said, I'm definitely calling him Miro Captainin now. Apparently, I had a slip up and called Miro Heiskanen Miro Captainin, and that's going to stick because I didn't even realize I did that. So he is the new Brick Bowser for this year. Miro Heiskanen is the captain I would make. I think he is the best one from a... I think he is the best one without any of the other stuff involved. Simply because the two Blackhawks, as well. Like it's easy to get a lot of the central cards in the lineup. Doughty is very good if you pair him, with an American, or a Nashville Predator. Very good because he gets that +2 overall boost or +3 overall boost if you pair him with a Nashville Predator. So, no, sorry, it's a +2. My apologies. Very good card as well. I personally can't have Drew Doughty on my team. So I went Miro Heiskanen, Miro Captainin, and I don't think anyone's going to regret that. He is one of the best cards in the game, in my opinion. So did we just get our new Brick Bowser? Please refer to him as Miro Captainin. Yes, that is what's going to happen. On the best versus chemistry question, you're spot on. I chose Fedorov as my icon, and he doesn't fit chemistries. I've not regretted it once, and it keeps one of my lines flexible for just players I like or best cards available in my collection. Love the flexibility. I'm in the exact same boat. Fedorov has been one of the best cards that I've used. He obviously doesn't fit any of the line combos. And once you see my team build is meticulous. And it's frustrating not getting an extra boost because I have OCD, I guess. but it is nice to have kind of a free line because what you're going to notice is once you've crafted this team and they come out with a new card or a new line combo, everything is now like, okay, that was kind of wasted, things like that. Now I've got to really fix everything. But Fedorov, it's tough to get him into a line combo that works. He does get a +5 AP bonus with an Islander and a Flyer. Very specific, though. There are not a lot of great Islanders. I guess you could go Barzal, and a lot of people have been going Lindros as well to get a +5 AP. But I'm with you. I actually like having the flexibility. There are a few ways, but yes, the Flyer, Islander, and Red Wing combo give you 5 AP. But again, I don't know if I would spend the coins to get that over just having a free team. I actually like that. So, also, I've always enjoyed working the market. As someone who's no money spent, it's been one of the things that's allowed me additional flexibility. As much as you may not work the market. You did make a comment last week that sparked my focus on the market. I'm not going to say what it was, but I always appreciate your insights. Well done, brother. So, I decided to do Market Monday again. So every Monday I will have a video going over the market. I am not going to give you my my thoughts on this is a good buy, you should buy this at X price. It is simply going to be a reference for next year. So what I want to do is I want to every Monday go through and look what the set cards cost, what the master set cost, what the icons cost, so that next year the average player can be a little bit more educated, myself included. So when launch comes and we don't know what to sell stuff for, there's at least a little bit of a guide to keep us on the rails. So that's what my Market Monday videos will be. They're not going to be, these are the cheap cards, go buy them, because that's a mess. I'm blessed with a very large following now, and I can 100% impact the market, which I hate. If anyone was watching my stream this morning, I was absolutely furious about the situation because I was legit trying to just build a team like everyone else. And the second I started talking about a player, they literally just jumped up 10K in price just because I was talking about them, so now I have to hide my screen when I'm doing it. So I'm with you guys. I won't be talking about prices. I will be talking about what the cards are in reference for future years and just a general guide to see, where the things are falling week to week. Shaft says, chemistry in the salary cap is a huge W, in my opinion. Adds a ton of variety, makes you think about your lineups. Hats off to EA. Like I said, man, I was skeptical that it would be annoying and cause some friction. But I'm with you. I had more fun building my team this morning than I have ever in any sort of team building aspect of NHL. Because there's cards that you could put together that make them very viable when in prior years they would just go on the fourth line. Because it's whoever is the highest overall, right? And you're going to see one specifically in my No Money Spent video today that I'm pretty happy with. And again, the cost is after the video goes out is going to be absurd. But look for those types of things coming up when you start thinking about building your team. But the salary cap is really interesting because I did not think that No Money Spent players could come even close to it. Not the case. I'm 2 cards away from being at it, and by next week I will be at it, and then I'm looking for salary cap boosts as well. So very interesting, and they knocked it out of the park. I was very critical of the content team the last 2 years, but the changes so far have been awesome. Again, I think that there is potential for exhaustion of the player base, much like what happened in MLB the last 2 years, because you work hard to get these cards in your lineup, and then a new line combo comes out, or they drop a better version of the card that you chased after that was super expensive. That's going to get really tiring for a lot of the player base, especially the casual players. But it also means that you could go and get the lowest overall of a chemistry boost and put those in your lineup regardless, and that can help things out. So really liked it, and it was really fun. So next up, we've got Sath. He says, as someone who grew up with FIFA Ultimate Team, I love the idea of adding some sort of chemistry system back into HUT. It makes squad building so much more fun since you actually have to think about what players to include in your team, and you can't always choose the highest rated. You will see, like I said, very excited to show you guys my team build, especially with the salary cap now. With the unbelievable content drop yesterday, EA is on a heater. Can't wait to see how they mess it up soon. That's a big fear of mine. I honestly, the only thing that I'm concerned with is the 70-day timer, because that's so long that we're going to get kind of sick of the 3 ducks. I need them every Monday and Thursday, the non-content days, to just release a few new line combos. If they do that, and it's automated. Like it doesn't have to be cards. Like there, it's literally just automated every Monday and Thursday on the non-card content days. That could be incredible because then at least on those 2 days you get something new that could spark something in your lineup and go from there. So um absolutely love it. I can't wait for season 2 simply because at the launch of season 2 we're getting like nine or 10 icons, 9 or 10 heroes, more rookie cards, at least four more captain cards. Like just that alone, forget the event that's going on, that's just so much. And I wish this season was a little bit shorter, but it is what it is, right? Personally, as an offline player, I love the direction they seem to be going. If the overall is going to be constrained for a few months, it just means more diverse cards come out during a season. Gives people a lot of flexibility to pick up and choose and not feel like they need to buy into every event to keep up. And I love the salary cap and how they're implementing line combos. It forces us to get creative, pick and choose, as opposed to loading up with the best, most expensive cards. Feels far and away better than almost anything from 25. Obviously, still early, but so far, I'm feeling really optimistic about how it's looking. The fact that event items, I anytime that there's an event where you guys all ask who I'm gonna make, and I sit there and I'm like, I have no idea. That's actually a really good thing because that means that there isn't a card that's clearly overpowered. Now, obviously, in week 1, that's different because in week 2, that's gonna change because Pasta is clearly the number one for every player because he's a Czech that can go with an icon that's very good in Sakic, and you can go with Naslin. And not because you should have all those cards, but because those 3 cards specifically aren't just found in packs. You don't have to save coins to buy them. They are able to be made. So for that normal player that does not spend money on the game and things like that, cards that can be made for 70 days outside of pasta, you're going to have to make pasta during the week. But the other 2, you can slow roll making them. And then at least for until the middle of November when the line combos change, you're going to get a +2 overall boost of those cards, which keeps them very relevant. So I'm with you on that. The other thing I'm curious about is during the events, just how hard it's going to be for no money spent players that don't rip packs to get cards. I've played, like I said, for 6 straight days essentially. I played 2 days of ranked in the pre-order, and then since the worldwide launch, I've legit only played Cup Chase. And there hasn't been a lot of rewards, but it's definitely the most rewarding thing to do right now. I did all the moments, and then I started doing Cup Chase, working towards objectives and the sets and all of that. If you can play on Superstar, I released a video yesterday going over what you should do if you want to get the best cards. And it is Superstar Cup Chase because at the end you're guaranteed an 82, and in some cases multiple. And an 82 overall is what's needed for Cup Chase cards. It's what's needed for rookies. It's what's needed for captains. So that's where I would spend my time early on, just doing that over and over again. And with the changes to Cup Chase, you don't need to go undefeated. So you get to 11 wins, and then 11 or 12, you have to check. And then you just quit out of the rest of the games. You get into the playoffs, and then you just got to win those 4 games, right? So it's much less time. Now, my Cup Chases were taking a really long time because they made an objective where it's like get 1,000 shots on goal. In 2 full Cup Chase runs, I only had like 650. So that's a little exhausting, but it's also meant to be there for 70 days. So, for anyone that doesn't know, the Cup Chase set you want to do is the 30 collectible one. It gives you a guaranteed 82 overall player item. Guaranteed, I believe it's 82 and above, but 82 is if you get that, it's good. The 35 one is 479 and above items, the choice pack. The reason why you don't want to do that is you'll get 79s or an 80, and those are far cheaper than an 82 and above. So just something to keep in mind there as well. One thing I can't stand is sets on sets on sets. Why make it so tedious to make a master set player? Why not make it one step and just up the player's level rather than having to trade in 77s to 78s to make an 80, then trading 80 to 81s? I agree. Their formula is a lot like Madden. It's get a card, turn that card and multiple of the other same into a higher rated card, and that's how they go. I agree with you completely. I'm with you on that. They should go back to the the upgrade system with collectibles, where every overall has a use in terms of the amount of collectibles you get. That is one thing that I would change. But it's clearly they give out less cards, and they try and get you to use those lower overall cards. You trade them in to get higher event items, and then you use those higher event items to get the master. It's a clear progression system. It's a lot like Madden. I'm not a big fan of it, but that's why they have it. So just something again, unfortunately, that is one thing that is a little tough. Nitty says, I feel like chemistry has caused a FOMO, fear of missing out, for anyone who doesn't know. Feel like if I don't build lines to get AP or overall increases, I'm missing out, which then means I feel like I can't use the players I like because they don't fit in. I'm with you on that. I wasn't until I started making my team today. 100%, guys, there are going to be cards that are more expensive because of chemistry. So what I would do when you think about it is with that boost, what is that card worth? So if a card can get a +2 overall and it's an 83, okay? At 85, is it worth the would you buy it at 85 if it was worth if you could buy it at 85 like because of the chemistry, right? But build your team with cards that you like. The chemistry system, in my opinion, is a tiebreaker. Or if you are a hardcore player that wants to play online and you like ranked is my thing. It is the most amount of fun I have in the game is playing online. That is it. And there's a lot of people that don't share that same insight and that same feeling, which is why I personally don't use sometimes I don't use my favorite players over the cards that are better because my fun is beating players online. And if it's going to give me assistance there, then I go with that, right? But for the majority of the player base, unless that's the case, don't feel like you're missing out until you get to a spot where you literally can't activate abilities because you need that. So then you got to go and look and see if you can't mix and match to get some more boosts to get like your AP increased, right? So I'm with you. A lot of people are feeling that, but I wouldn't worry about it too much, man, especially early on. So just something to keep in mind as well. And yeah. That's going to do it for today's episode, guys. Tomorrow, I will have another Coffee and Chel. However, I am gone on Tuesday. I leave Monday around noon. My flight is at 1 or 2 p.m., so I'll probably end my stream, my subathon at 8 a.m. I will be back at Wednesday at like 4 p.m. My stream will be back on, and my subathon timer, which still has like 3.5 days on it, will continue and carry on. But Coffee and Chel probably won't come out on Wednesday until maybe later when I get home. But that's why if you don't see some content, you don't see me streaming, I just have to go and I'm a host for an event in DC, so I have to fly there. I'm literally gone like maybe 40 hours, but I couldn't get out of it. It's an engagement that I have to go to. So thank you guys again for watching. If you want to come check out the stream today, I am live all day until 8 a.m. tomorrow, and I hope to see you guys there. Have a good one.